So, I had this guy that I loved for a long time. And I guess my sister had ulterior motives for me. You will not believe what she did. And stick around to the end because she asked me a question that I just thought was unbelievable. I'm 18 female and have a stepsister, Lily. We both finished high school, different school system here, this summer. We both want to attend university next year and currently doing other stuff and still living at home. Lily is my stepdad's daughter. They moved in with my mom and me 2 years ago. My ex-boyfriend, Daniel, of 3 years, and I planned on applying to the same, pretty prestigious and expensive university, and want to study the same subject. So we still would have been able to be close to each other and continue our relationship. Daniel, Lily, and I all attend the same school, and at our prom night, I caught them making out in the back. I was, of course, devastated. Daniel tried to apologize to me and to, quote, work things out. But I don't think he can make up for his betrayal, and I ended stuff. Since then, him and Lily are together. I sometimes see them at our place. None of my business anymore. We luckily don't share a room. Daniel, however, still plans to apply to University A, while I don't, because of him being there. I found another great university that will accept me. I know because it only depends on the GPA, and it isn't as expensive. Therefore, I'll only need a small part of my college fund. My mom set this fund up with my dad, and because they both earn pretty good money, it has enough money for multiple years of whatever university I'd like. Meanwhile, Lily has almost no money for college, because her parents did not set up a fund in time. Now, the issue. Lily wants to attend University A to keep the relationship with Daniel, but doesn't have enough money without taking a large loan. Therefore, she asked me for almost my whole fund since, quote, I won't need it anymore. I don't want to, because, well, I have other purposes for my money. But she and stepdad are calling me selfish little brat that isn't capable of sharing. My mom says it's my money and I get to decide what to do with it. Daniel recently also started texting me and pressuring me into giving Lily my money so they can stay together. Am I the a-hole for not giving Lily the money, even though I did not necessarily need it? But she does. So the question was, do the parents know what happened between Lily and Daniel? OP replies, yeah, they do. I mean, they've been together in our house. Of course they know. That's when the third comment replies with this bomb. Your stepdad is an a-hole regardless, but this puts him way over the a-hole line. He knows all of this, and he has the nerve to call you a brat? What was his reaction when he found out? Guys, that's a great question. Let me know your thoughts on this story. You can answer by dropping the comment section down below. The next story we're going to look at, it's an Am I the A-hole story. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister-in-law that I will call the cops for child abandonment the moment she steps foot out of the house? If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that button. It's right below this video, and it tells you when there's updates and stuff like that that comes out for the videos. So make sure you hit that, and here comes your next story. I'm 25 male, and my brother Jack and his wife Jill. Jack's 27 and Jill's 25, and no, they did not go up a hill. It all started when Jack and Jill got pregnant. Their lease almost ended, and my parents invited them to stay at our house. The day came, Jack asked me why I have not moved out of my room yet. I was confused, like WTF, and he told me that he and Jill will be at my room, and I can go to the guest room. I refused, but my parents got mad. We got into a huge fight. I lost and ended in much smaller guest room. Then, Jill had a problem with my cooking. I eat scrambled eggs with mozzarella and avocado every day for breakfast, and she could not stand the smell. She asked me to stop. I refused, and my parents got involved and said I had to stop. There were problems with other food too, and I had to stop cooking them. I was told I must be accommodating because she's pregnant. Like that's my problem. Then Jill started to boss me around. We were alone for 8 hours while my parents and Jack worked. She obviously thought I wouldn't be her little personal maid. I refused. She threw a temper tantrum like always, and I again had a big fight with Jack and my parents. I was told that she had a high-risk pregnancy and was on bed rest, and I am the a-hole for not helping. I told Jack, "Bro, you knocked her up. It's your responsibility." I stood my ground, and in the end, Jill's cousin came to help her. Then Jill gave birth to my nephew. I congratulated them when they were home, and that's it. I don't like babies, so I mostly keep to myself now. But that doesn't stop Jill to ask for favors. Please watch the baby while I take a quick shower. Please watch the baby while I make myself some food. Blah, blah, blah. I always refuse, and we all have new fights over and over again. Well, it all came to a head last Friday, when she asked me to watch my nephew while she goes to the pharmacy for baby formula. I refused. She got mad, and of course, we had a fight. She grabbed her purse to go anyways, and I told her that the moment she walks out the door, I'm calling the police for child abandonment. I was serious, and she knew it. She broke down, screaming what a horrible human I am. Then she ran to her room. She had a complete mental breakdown. When Jack and my parents came home, we had the biggest fight yet. Jack accused me of hating Jill and my nephew, upon other things. I told him I refused to bond because they'll weaponize him against me. My parents told me enough is enough, that they can't believe they raised such a selfish human being, and that either I help or I move out. I'm thinking the second option. Am I the a-hole for sending Jack and Jill on top of the hill? One of the commenters in the original thread is saying that he can predict the future. Let me tell you what I mean. Dude, you're gonna spend your life providing for your parents and paying half their mortgage, only for them to die and leave the house to your brother because, quote, he has a family so he needs it more. And then find yourself evicted by said brother because, well, his family needs the space. Do you guys think it's going to play out like that? Drop your comments below because you know what? I could see that happening. The final story of the day. Am I the a-hole for calling the police on my fiancé? Last night, my fiancé left in the evening to give a friend's son a ride back to his home. She implied she'd be home before 9 and she left around 7:45. 10:15 rolls around and she's still not home. I texted, she apologized to me, saying that her friend's son was actually in the next town over, maybe 30 minutes away, and she was coming home now. Looked at the clock, 11:45 rolled around, she's still not home. I called, no answer. Texted, no response. I was getting very upset. 12:30 rolls around, still no response and no answer to my phone calls, and I was extremely angry. Now, 1:30. It's rolling around, and my anger had completely transformed into worry. Not answering my calls, no text even being read. Well, 15 minutes later, 1:45, I called the police. I've always heard the first 24 hours of someone being missing is the most important, so I did not want to delay. I asked them to let me know if there's been any traffic accidents involving her car, and the operator told me they would put out the word and send some cops to check around the route that she would travel. I called all the hospitals in the area to check if she's been checked in, and I waited outside watching the road for her car for 3 hours. Partially because I did not want the kids to hear me on the phone with the hospital. And secondly, because I was sick and worried. Well, guys, at 7 a.m., she came home. She apologized for being out and said she had no excuse. She was driving home, felt tired like she was falling asleep at the wheel, so she pulled over to the side of the road to sleep. When she did that, she found that her brand new phone had stopped working. She says she napped away because it was the responsible thing to do, and then came home at 7 a.m. to bring the kids to school and to get work on time. I immediately called the police and told them that she's come home safely and gave them a case number and told them to stop searching, which they did. My fiancé brought the children to school, and left for work. I set out to start cleaning. Cleaning de-stresses me sometimes, and I got a call from a policeman asking where she worked. I told him and asked why. I was informed that it was their policy to check on the person's wellness after a missing person's found. I asked him to not go to her work, but to give her a call instead. He said he could not promise that. My fiancée is relatively new to her job. A police officer showed up and asked to speak with her. She's now enraged at me for calling the police and sending a cop to her work, and making her look bad. She's saying I overreacted and that she wasn't missing, and that I was punishing her for doing the responsible thing and not driving while drowsy. She's saying that she is never going to leave the house again except for work because she's afraid I'm going to call the cops on her again. So did I overreact, and should I have waited 2 days like she suggested? Alright guys, Mr. Reddito here. This story is an intense one. In my opinion, I think he made the right decision by calling the cops because it was a worrisome moment. However, there is a complete update for this. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Smash that subscribe button if you want to support me, and let's see what's up with this update. First of all, thank you for all of those who offered kind words and solid advice. This update is likely to disappoint some of you as it does me. My fiancé and I have been fighting solidly since before I posted my thread. It's been exhausting. I called her out on her obvious lie, and she fumed at how awful I was calling her a liar. From then on, it was as if she was falling down a smooth well, desperately clawing and grabbing at anything she could to blame me for, as she went deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. I'm not a perfect man, but in this particular situation, I was an angel, so she had nothing to grab onto, just slipping. I did a lot of soul searching, and I made a call that most of you will hate. I decided to bury the hatchet. I love her very, very dearly. I had no proof of a lie, and I wasn't too concerned about what she was really up to. Our relationship is open, so even if she ducked around, I didn't care. She still fought with me, though. The fight continued to the point where she's broken up with me, but not really, which was a common tactic she's used before. I called her out on it, and she fought with me still. I asked for space for a night so I could sleep off the exhaustion, and she got upset and told me I was neglectful and selfish for not giving to her and making up in person. Well, I'm stupid, I guess, and I'm aware of it. Even through all of this, I was apparently able to believe what she said in emotion wasn't really her talking. Today, I was having my lunch. Money has been tight lately, for some reason. Weird. So I flipped through my wallet to find my credit card, which was missing. Well, you see, where this goes, she stole it. She cited our desire to join lives together and merge finances, and that when I lent her my wallet once, she took it so she would not have to bother to ask again. This credit card is mine, under my name and for emergencies only. She was using it for the last month and a half. While she's been decent enough to pay back some of it, there's still a chunk of $1,500 on it that hasn't been paid. She says that it's here just as much as mine, and resents me calling her a thief. A lot of the uses were spent on ATMs for cash withdrawals, and some interesting ones at the casino. Those of you guessed gambling were probably right on the money. At that point, I admit, I lost it. I'm a very calm person, but there's only so much denial of reality that I could take. It's still blurry, but I said a lot of horrible things to her, and I'm in the process of evicting her from my life. I'm canceling everything that's in my name that she's a part of, including the new phone and line. Canceling her car insurance and reclaiming my vehicle that I gave her, as she's trashed it. Apparently, I can handle lies, cheating, and secrets, but who knew theft was my line? Learning experience. Now, thinking back, I can identify lots of sketchy stuff that my love goggles blinded me to, but there's a pretty strict character limit. Alright guys, I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. I just want to know, do you think OP went over the line by contacting the police, or do you think it was justified? Drop your opinions down below. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have an amazing day, and remember, it's cool to be kind.